The Israeli Security Cabinet approved a plan Monday morning that will allow for, quote, conquering of Gaza and holding the territories. Well, this comes as the IDF is calling up tens of thousands of reservists for a massive offensive. Well, IDF Sergeant Major Chaim Malespin joins us now from Israel with the breaking details. Chaim, this operation is being called Gideon's Chariots. What can you tell us about this offensive?
First of all, I love the name, Gideon's Chariots. And you think of the operation of Gideon in the Bible. That's reference to Gideon in the Bible. He started out with, what, 35,000 men or something? And he says, you know, whoever's tired. And I'm actually by a river. I'm not going to say which river this is, but by a little stream. And I think of how Gideon had, you know, soldiers go to the stream. And if they were, you know, drinking like this, they were in. If they were putting their face in, and like tired, like I don't know exactly what that means, but they weren't in. And right now there are a lot of people tired, but this is a call. It's like, we've got to finish this. And that's why the name comes from, I believe, where we're going to gather those who are ready to be Gideon's 300, the few, and going to go. And what are we going to do? Well, we're going to sweep the entire Gaza, which frankly, many of us think we should have done a long time ago. And we're going to destroy all the tunnels. You know, don't forget, I am Special Operations Engineering Unit, Yahalom. That's the Combat Engineer Corps Elite Unit for Special Missions, and most of that is dealing with the tunnel threat. But it is hard for us. I mean, you might know that I lost 2 friends just the other day. Today's my 577th day being deployed, you know, consecutively. I get breaks here and there, but I just lost 2 friends who were blown up in a tunnel by Hamas. So they have a lot of ability. They've got a lot of RPGs, a lot of snipers. You probably know just the week before that, right where I was, out of a tunnel came a swarm, a chuliya of Hamas terrorists, and shot at a convoy, got, you know, and people died. But my point to you is the Gideon's few is going to go forward. We're going to clear the whole area. We are not going to give up. We're going to achieve the agenda that we set out to do. The goal of it's called victory. It's not called appease the Hamas, appease the enemy, give them whatever they want. No, we're going for victory. And we are the chosen people. We're the people of Israel, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We serve the God of Israel, and we can't be afraid. And we also can't speak my heart on this. We can't just go back and do the same thing like Cast Lead, like Operation, Pillar of Cloud, the different operations that we've had. You know, Guardian on the Walls. The English translation sometimes evades me how they translate it. But we're not going to go back to those operations and have again and again the same thing. Enough's enough. Everybody's tired, but people here just want to dwell in peace. I have 3 children. Everybody I know has children that are serving with me, pretty much everybody. And what we want to do is just go back to our families. We want to be able to have peace and picnic. But you can't have peace when you know that just like that, Hamas, Islamic Jihad, the Houthis, Iran, you know, that once again, they're going to attack. And this Gaza, specifically talking about Gaza, is something we have to complete almost as a message to everyone else. This must be complete.
I can't imagine the fact that you've been deployed for 577 consecutive days. You have 3 kids. You are personally responsible for, you know, getting these tunnels out of operation, for rescuing hostages. There probably aren't many people. And again, I am so sorry, truly, my friend, about your friends that you lost. But there aren't many people on planet Earth with more personally invested in this than you. So I guess the question is, where do you see this going? What do you see happening? And do you think this plan is a good idea personally?
Yeah, I do think that this is the only plan. And Trump has said it well, and people thought he was crazy, but there isn't any other option. You remember that he gave time to say, is there another option? Will they actually listen to President Trump of the United States, to his threats, and said, you will receive punishment if you don't take a deal of some sort. If you want to just keep holding on to innocent Americans, innocent Israelis, you want to hold on to men, women, and babies and kill them. No, that's unacceptable in this neighborhood, in any neighborhood really around the world. Democracy does not accept this. And so therefore they didn't heed Trump's warning. They didn't heed our warnings. They didn't accept any deal given them, none. Because also we didn't accept any deal that they were willing to accept because they wanted to remain in power. We said that is non-negotiable. They cannot remain in power in the Gaza Strip. So therefore there's an impasse, and the only thing left is is massive force, is maximum pressure, and to be able to find all these tunnels. And a suggestion I have is don't touch the hostages, Hamas. Don't touch my brothers and sisters. That is an unwise decision. If you say, well, they could kill them anytime, but actually pressure is the only thing that will help them to be released. The pressure, if you keep the pressure stronger and stronger. But I want to say something about humanitarian aid. We're prepared to give a lot, to open up everything, because as people see that Israel's withholding some humanitarian aid, although they have lots of food now. I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of trucks, tons have come in there. But we're saying we want to make sure the Hamas doesn't get it. So they're going to come to sterile areas. That's part of the plan, to come to sterile areas near, past the Marag corridor. And they're going to be able to, there's an area that's going to be sterile, meaning no Hamas. And anyone that comes in will say, we want to check that you're Hamas. Now, will those people maybe be robbed later? Possibly. And I hope not. But when they come in the area, they're going to be checked. We're going to see who they are. And then they'll get all the aid they want: food, medical. And so we want to take care of the people that are willing to not be Hamas and to live freely. And so that's what we want to do, is free Gaza from Hamas. The plan, just so you know, is blowing up tunnels, not only destroying infrastructure. A big important part for people like me, who is right in the midst of this, is heavy machinery that's going to activate a lot of the explosives before we die. It's going to activate up on us. It's going to protect us. Heavy machinery is going to be lines after lines of drones. I'll say we do need more thermal drones. We do need more uniforms. We do need more helmets. And, Aliyah Return Center has this donation. It's called the Emergency Aid Initiative. It's been going on since the beginning of the war for 577 days. But we're going to need, once again, I know that people have given generously, but we're going to need to again step into that ability to. This is the last hurrah, and we don't want to do it. Right. Remember Einstein? I believe it was Einstein, I'm not sure, who says if you do the same thing again and again and again and expect a different result, well, that's the definition of insanity. We want to achieve a different result, and just continuing. So my own son, whose birthday is today, by the way, I don't want him to have.
Oh, wow.
I don't want my son to have to. His name is Mattia. I don't want my son Mattia to have to deal with this. I want to be able to, me and other friends, to be able to return security and safety to the land of Israel that they deserve.
Well, happy birthday to Mattia. My friend Chaim, you have such a unique perspective in that you are a follower of Yeshua, and obviously CBN is a Christian network. And so in closing, maybe let me ask you this. How, as a follower of Yeshua, follower of Jesus, do you contextualize this war? I mean, I think there's a lot of people that are in the West that are very far removed from war that struggle with the theology of the whole 9 yards. And I'm not saying let's get into that, but I'm wondering, as a follower of Yeshua, how do you make sense of this crazy, terrible situation with the faith that you have?
I would say that all who read the Bible, all Jewish people, all who read the Bible, Christians, everybody who opens up these scriptures has to realize that, and this is the terminology I've used on every network that I've been on, cable networks, on Fox News, on every network I've been on. And people just find me and they say, oh, Chaim, Malespin Sergeant Major, has been in the tunnels of Hezbollah in the north, has been in the tunnels of Hamas from top to bottom, north to south. And so I tell them the same thing. I say, a good shepherd, we're supposed to be good shepherds. We got to follow the good shepherd, okay? Be like the good shepherd. The good shepherds don't just feed the flocks. As soon as a wolf comes, and I've said this again and again, I'll say it again and again. When the wolves come and take the lamb from the flock, take them from the sheepfold, it's called in English, and the wolves steal them into the wolves' den. Well, it's the job of the shepherd to take your shepherd's stick and go and rescue those lambs, those innocent lambs, and bring them back to the sheepfold. It's not just feed the sheep. You carry around a shepherd's stick, your rod and your staff. So I've got both the rod, and the staff. And it's important that we know that that's our duty, to be able to go in. It's some Arabic in the background, sorry. It's our duty to be able to go and do that. And it's biblical. Look at Gideon. Look at Abraham. Look at how David, they took his family hostage and he went. David's a hero. And so it's very hard when you say, I think people are understanding more, though, without defenders, you have full chaos in the world. You have an apocalyptic anarchy. We don't want that. that's what people are going to find out. They think they can theorize it all and say, well, I'm going to sit on my couch and think, how would I do it? I have criticisms of how quickly or how efficiently I would like things to be done. But I'm telling you what, it's time to be Gideons. It's time to be good shepherds and not give up. And I don't know if someone's a praying person that's watching this, if they're a praying person. If they are, I realize that praying, not only in like asking for something, but praying, what is God's will for Gaza? What does it say in the Bible, in Zephaniah? What does it say? What is God's will for Gaza? It's not for the Hamas to get what they want. That's not God's will. It's not God's will. It's for Hamas to surrender or leave or else. That's what it really, really is. Surrender or leave or else. And so God has written his plan. Zephaniah, it says that it will be for the clans of Judah. It's called the Promised Land. It's the one place where the giants were never defeated by Joshua, the one Pentapolis area. The giants weren't defeated. And I think it's time now to bring security to the land of Israel that just wants to live in security. Nobody wants to be in this war. Now, I'm just going to say this. It's one thing to pray what we want. I want to go home. I want to have fun with I want to celebrate my son's birthday. Okay? It's another thing to pray what is God's will. And when you do that, I suggest people go 2 by 2 and gather, not just listen to some one guy, gather, hold hands. This is what I believe is going to work, okay? And give us the victory. And just say, each one gets to pray for a minute, and the next person for a minute, or for a few seconds, whatever. And just be like, and I was doing this with my friend, okay? My friend Yaakov. And I'm praying, and suddenly, this might sound weird for an interview like this. As a soldier, this is what I do, my buddy, okay? We're praying, doesn't matter. Every person can pray. Anyone, doesn't matter where you're from, you can pray to the God of Israel. So I'm praying, and suddenly I got this kind of thought. Oh, the enemies want to mess with the God of Israel? You want to mess with the God of Israel? Oh, that's not going to end well. Oh, no. And I'm praying. You want to mess with the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? I'm a son of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You want to mess with the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? I'm a son of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Not going to end well for you. Oh, please stop before you get judged by God. And in a way, those who refuse to surrender or leave or else, God's going to allow that because they have done wickedly. And evil is not a smart decision for anyone. I don't care what they believe in. You don't appease evil. You don't negotiate with terrorists or else. Now, I know, and just to wrap this part up, is I know that Americans may not recognize this. Americans may have had war in Vietnam, war in Korean Peninsula, war in Iraq, Afghanistan. And they're like, my guys are gone for 6 months. Here it's close by. We don't have to be 6 months gone. We could be a month gone and come back. But here's the thing. When it's at your door, when Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Jabhat al-Nusra are at your door, the Nukhba are at your door, it's a whole different story. I'd love to see how someone watching this would respond if they're at their door. And that's what's going to happen if we don't act decisively. And I just want to say I love Arabs, many friends that are Arabs, and all my Arab friends want us to win. All the Arab friends want us to win. Yosef Haddad is going to come soon. Yosef Haddad, Arab guy, for example, he's coming to do an event with the Aliyah Return Center. He's going to ask for support for the Aliyah Return Center's emergency aid campaign. He's an Arab guy, and he wants Israel to win.
Well, Chaim, that is a fascinating perspective. And more than anything, my brother, please stay safe as this operation gets going. And we'll have to have you back on to give us updates. But as for now, Chaim Malespin, toda rabba, achi.
Thank you. God bless.